Come in, everyone! This is Shadow Squad! Permission to review Valaverse Action Force Series 4 Actual, over! Green light, go, go, go! Well, one of us isn't dressed appropriately for the weather. Okay, enough screwing around. Let's do this. We're asking the question, is Valaverse getting worse? Well, unfortunately, they ain't getting any better. Oh man, I don't even know where to start here. Out of all Series 4 that came out, I only got these two figures because I don't want this to be a bash video. I didn't intend it to be a bash video. I have a lot of explaining to do for this one. When the pre-order went up, let me rewind that. Let's put a pin in that. Let's rewind. When we first saw these actions, when I first saw this series, what was it, Joe Fest, was it June or something like that? I was excited for these. I wanted to get these two, the new Sniper blowback, the Swarm Tracer, the glow-in-the-dark one. Like, I was like, I wanted a lot of those figures. And then as the more reveals went on, I got less excited about them. I was like, maybe like the ghillie suit, the green. I wasn't interested in the white one. That kind of looked ridiculous. I didn't get that. But the green ghillie suit, I really didn't like it. Now, I'm no professional sniper. Obviously, I was sniping enthusiast back in the early 2000s, and I've never seen a ghillie suit design like that. Granted, this is like, oh man, almost 20 years ago now. But I never saw one where it was open like that. Like, that could be a new design, could have been something, again, in the last 2 decades, could have been something new. But back in the day, I recall it being a ghillie suit, being like a poncho with, like, you know, grass or hay or leaves or whatever on it. A blanket, you know, where you could kind of put over yourself, which is the one I have. There's one with a poncho and a hood. They sell like just a hood. And usually like the professional ones, I thought, was you kind of wear it like a Wookiee suit. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, like a Chewbacca costume, right, from Star Wars, how would you wear that? Well, it comes with like furry legs. So the legs would be like hay, grass, leaves, whatever, like I said. And then you have like a furry shirt, you know, same foliage on it, whatever. And then you have the hat. And that's kind of, you know, the styles of sniping that I thought. I never saw one where it kind of straps like that. So that, I don't want to say it's fake or far-fetched, but that threw me. I was not prepared for that. I thought at least it'd have a hood or whatever. But then when I took a closer look at it, I was like, these materials, and I've heard someone else say this, you could get them in Dollar Tree. I mean, those little band things, I mean, you could just get a pack of black hair ties here, like this rubber band here, for like $1. Well, I'm sure Dollar Tree's a little bit more than $1 now, but you know what I mean? It's for around $1. And they have all kinds of foliage and like green, like I want to call it paper sheets of like grass or whatever. I feel like for $5, I kind of want to put myself to the test. Maybe I will in a later date, and I'll do a video and trying to see if I can make a ghillie suit in Dollar Tree for way less than like $20. That's what we're charging. Like, take away the gun, it was like $10 for that. I mean, I could make that for, I would say, less than $5. I'm thinking like $3. You just take the rubber bands there and you just take that. And they, like I said, they have all kinds of grass and things there for like fake at Dollar Tree, like fake plants pretty much. And you can make your own. And I just didn't feel like it was worth it. I felt like, and then let's fast forward to the pre-order. When the prices came out for a lot of these, I was like, ooh. And you said you were lowering the prices on these, Vala. I still think they're a little overpriced. Now, I'm not going to compare Valaverse. I'm going to try to not compare Valaverse to the other brands, because I feel like Series 4, there's enough where I could kind of compare this series to itself, you know? So let me kind of like get them armed up and stuff. Well, let me wait a minute. But I'm just gonna mostly and try my best to compare just Valaverse to Valaverse. No other companies, no other price points. I don't want to hear this company and that company, NECA or Hasbro has their price point, what you get, and blah blah blah. Because like, look at Figure Arts and a Figure Art figure. You know, that's a Target or Walmart figure. You know, I mean, technically these aren't that, but kind of now. And splitting hairs. That's basically what this whole thing is just splitting hairs. But I mean, they look great. There's no arguing on that. But the price point on a lot of them, I feel like across the board, everything could have been $5 less. The heads pack was 20, that could have been 15. The ghillie suit or whatever, that could have been 15. Just the weapons pack, it was like 12. Like, bring that down to 10. What was he? 30 still? I mean, this is like a $25 figure. This is not a $30 figure. And he was 20. And he is definitely not a $20 figure. And I'll get into that. And we'll really get into the meat of this. Just let me cover the surface. And then we're going to peel back this onion, so to speak. But yeah, I was, the prices took me back a bit. I was, you know, I was really surprised. I was like, yeah. And comparing it to the other series, I'm looking back and forth, comparing what you get. I feel like these were the most bang for your buck. I mean, I feel like he came with a little bit more than the other troopers for his price point to the other $30 price point. I believe the Urban Trooper, for example, I know he came with at least 1 or 2 more accessories. And they're the same price point. So, excuse me, I really don't understand the pricing on this. It's just all askew. And that threw me off. So then I just ended up getting the 2 I really needed. And he wasn't really a need. I really just needed this one. But I really wanted this Condor. And I'm disappointed in it. I gotta say I'm disappointed in it. It's not the look. It looks great. I mean, I have a few little gripes, but they look great. But the feel on them, the feel is... What happened? What happened? Now, again, I literally just said I don't want to compare it to Hasbro, but he said he's using the same factory as them, and that's not a good thing. I can tell, and I'm going to bring out other Hasbros simply for feel and plastic quality example only, but let me bring them in. I mean, you've kind of seen them a little bit. I like the Real World. Look here, I just got Helix in. She's fantastic, by the way, but you know, I mean, you could argue, oh, this head sculpt's better and blah blah blah. This is more of a cartoonish toon look, and this is more of a Real World realistic. I mean, we can split hairs all day, but just comparing it, and I'll make another example to that a little bit later on. But other than that, the only thing I don't like about this head sculpt is, I hope this shows up. You can see it. What's up with the brown ring around his mouth? Like, what was he, going real hard on a fudgicle, a fudge pop or whatever? Because I don't understand what the brown around the lips are. I mean, it reminds me of those kids, you know, no offense, I'm not really making fun of you. It's just, my wife was one of those kids where, you know, you drink, they drink the red juice or Kool-Aid or whatever, and they get the little mustache, the red mustache. This, it threw me. I was like, what the heck? It makes him look, I don't know, really stupid. He does come with another head, which I like. And I like how they put the camo on there. It looks really good, but you can barely see it. I mean, you could barely make that out. I mean, it's shot in HD. I'm sure YouTube or whatever is going to lower the quality on this. But you can barely make out that camo, and you spent money on that. I'm sure that wasn't cheap. And you can barely see it. It would have been, you might as well just made it all the same beige, you know, because it's so far away, and I can barely see that light beige. Doesn't look bad, it's just you can barely see it. This is a better head sculpt. A lot better, but I just don't know what the brown is around that. The nitpicks are going to be small and aesthetic. I mean, I do feel like the carabiners there are getting less paint. And overall, we're getting, I believe, either a few centimeters to an inch less of a figure. Not in height, it's just like overall. You know how I said in other videos how, you know, I was like, Bobby, you got to add like the extra neck because I may just add centimeters, but those centimeters make a difference. I think he went the other way and he subtracted centimeters here and there. I'll show you an example here. Let me get through Condor first, and just the overall look at it, of them, and I'll get you to an example of that. Looks great. And I was so excited for these. Whenever I order a Valaverse, I'm genuinely excited when they're coming to open them. I'm like, yes, these are going to be great. And it's just continuously be getting worse. I mean, Special Deployment was the best. And then Series 30, you're like, eh. And then after that, it's like, bop. And this one's even worse. I mean, I'm really upset. Really upset. And you know what I said about heating these up. And, you know, I don't like doing that because it's ridiculous. And, you know, but I did it because taking them out of the package, it was either do it or break it. And I'm not going to be obviously a stubborn idiot and purposely break my figure because, you know, I'm going to fold my arms and stomp my feet like, no, I'm not heating it up. So, no, I like a fool, went and took the hairdryer and basically played barbershop with my dollies and blow dried them because, you know, this hobby isn't sexy enough. I love doing that. That makes me feel so great. Yeah, I could do it with other companies make me do that, but you know who I haven't had to do that? And it is winter when we get these, right? So I did take that into account. And you know what I didn't have to do that with? Mezco, Dr. Doom, he's like made of metal. Got him in what, January 1st? He's fine. Spider-Man. And don't tell me because he's got cloth goods on that it kept his plastic warm. There's no blood flow, okay? There's no, it's not doing anything for plastic. It doesn't matter if they have cloth goods or not. He moved just fine, so I don't never have to take a blow dryer to a Mezco. Barely ever. A Figure Art, same thing. Been getting Figure Arts all winter. They move fine. There's no excuse for this blow dryer BS anymore. I'm just so over it. So over it. And this plastic on this guy, like this figure is complete garbage. I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised. I really don't care about the mint green. Go back to my classified. Is it a ripoff or inspired thing? This is, I mean, he wanted to make his, what is it? Avalanche or Blizzard, or I can't keep track with the G.I. Joe snow name, Snow Job, Snowball. You know, there's a pick a weather thing, and there's a Joe named after it. But I believe it's the African-American Joe. I think it was Blizzard. It was a Blizzard. He came with the canoe, and he's got the green, this same exact green on it. So Bobby was basically making his version of him because he comes with African-American or black skin tone there, as well as Caucasian. And they look great. Again, it looks great, especially this one. This one's fantastic. And I like how you can't really see it off camera, but you could feel it, and you could feel the texture on this. That's a plus. That's a real plus. I like that a lot. Well painted. You know, no overspray, none of that. That gold is awesome. Awesome. This is going to look good on another figure, but I really don't want to swap these out because, I mean, I know this is the last of these bodies. Because this, I mean, swapping these out, that's going to break. Every time I swap them, I can't. I don't even know. I think I have like 1 or 2 head swaps left in these before that's going to go. But, all right, enough talking about the aesthetic. Let's move on to, I guess, I mean, do you want to see the extra hands? You know, they come with the stands, extra hands. I'll get into that later. Let's go into articulation. So I did heat them up head to toe a lot, and it's still difficult to move. First, when I got them in, I didn't rush into the blow dryer, right? I let them sit for a good 36 to 48 hours in a nice heated house. You know, I didn't keep them in the garage or attic. Oh my gosh. Ugh. Okay. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, I mean, I'd rather have it hard plastic than soft, but then check this out. Look at that. Look at that looseness. I mean, that's great. That's awesome. Does he do that? Let's see. No, he's a lot better. He's a lot better. All I'm doing is spinning the head like this. And let me hold it tightly down here. Just the upper torso a little bit, an acceptable amount. This, any looser, and this would be a floppy piece of garbage. So, not happy about that. Can he move in it? Well, obviously, because he can almost do the Macarena or whatever in there. So, I mean, that's great. But, this guy brags so much, talks so much smack. So, see, I don't want to be a basher, a Bobby basher, but he comes out, he talks so much smack about everyone else, including people who ask him like innocent, like honest to God questions. He's like, hey, dummy, like, oh my God, you have it coming. You have bash videos coming. But yeah, I mean, he's a lot better in the middle. But anyone who tells you these figures are smooth, they're lying to you. They're straight up lying to you. That's not smooth. That's not smooth. I don't want to do this, but like, just got her, right? Can't move her either. And she's like the same. It feels like, here, let me get to his legs real quick, and then I'll get to that. His legs, I mean, the drop down method doesn't work anymore, which I don't really care because I don't think it should have been a thing anyway, but it's still there, which is concerning. Because like I said, that's just an extra hinge to break, and it looks like it probably will. Can't tell if it's stress whitening, but whatever. It's ridiculous. I feel like those like weights, that little hand weight thing from like the 80s or 90s. Oh my gosh. And forget changing the hands out. Forget pulling those out. You need the blow dryer. And if you mean to tell me I got to get the blow dryer every time I want to switch a hand or a head out, that's ridiculous. That's completely unacceptable. That is ridiculous. That is, no one's going to do that. That is dumb. That I can't beat up on that enough. Like, it's awful. And one more thing. These boots, it's like everything of this is made of different plastic. This is like garbage. The head is good. Head is real nice plastic. The arms are super tight. The chest feels almost hollow. The legs, the shins are made of adamantium. The crotch is all right, but it feels like that plastic that's gonna blow apart right there. And then the boots, it's not the same with Condor. Like Condor's leg feels good. His boot feels about the same plastic. His arms feel the same. Like he feels the same. His plastic feels the same all throughout his body. This is a travesty. And these boots, it's like, what can I compare these boots to? See, look, like it's going to pop out right in there. They couldn't get them to spin, and it's like, when you get a marshmallow or a Charleston chew, the chocolate bar or Charleston chew, and you stretch it and you break it, and it starts to break up, and it starts to get like those stretch marks, and it starts to like white, and it starts to crack and get those white cracks and splits in it. That's this plastic. That's this plastic. Because when I was trying to get this to move, this started to do that. It started to do that. Can you kind of see? I don't know if you can tell. I don't think so. But it started to do that Charleston chew marshmallow break apart. And yeah, you could kind of see it in there. Kind of see it right in there. And that's just garbage. What are you doing? Is that how really $5 broke the bank? Or what was it, $2 or something like that? He went down and you had to change plastic this much. I mean, what's going on? What's going on? Either these companies are lying to us, or the factories are lying to them about pricing on this plastic. I don't know. So I think it might be the middleman here, the actual companies themselves, not the factories. And her, for reuse on her bottom leg, for being that scarlet pinned garbage, moves fantastic. And she's not overly gummy. I mean, she's softer. It isn't a plastic I like. I love the feel of Condor, but he's just not great. And then let me bring out a couple more examples. Just for plastic wise, I mean, he can barely move either. Like, he's got the same, well, that moves a little better, but forget the bottom one. Ugh. Like, I'm trying not to knock over the camera, trying to Superman bend these legs like a, all right, that's a little better. Okay, he's moving now. Oh, he's showing off now. I'm trying to make them look bad, huh? Okay. But like his arm, yeah, it's not as bad because it is softer. But the point that I'm bringing this out is just I'm comparing it to plastic. This feels like the same plastic. He did say he's using the same factory. I don't know if it's the same plastic, but it feels the same, just as a different durometer, like different hardness and softness. Like it feels like the same type or quality of plastic, but yeah, something's not right. You know, when your brain is telling you something's not right and you can't put your finger on it. I said this before, but your finger is actually on it. It's the feel of it. And here's Desert Rat, who has a Dusty hat on, because I hate that Dusty figure. But like, he's great. Desert Rat and Blowback, the figures wise, not the guy, the figure wise, are fantastic. Like, no matter what type of year it is or season. I got the, and this is series 1 leg. Yeah, and it's the same thing. So he's got series 1 lower half, and he's got series 2 upper. And special deployment. I'm not going to bring out Blowback because, I mean, this is a good enough example. But you see what I'm saying? Like, this is smooth. This is smooth. This is fantastic. This is trash. I mean, well, this is more trash than this, but this isn't worth $30. What's going on? What is going on? All right, let's bring out the accessories. And let me bring out that point that I was talking before about centimeters and stuff. Well, I mean, he's got the hands, you know, all the extra hands, which is great. You know, I mean, I do appreciate the hands. They're well painted. I did have to heat some of them up to move them. The head that I'm probably just going to swap once and forget all about. The helmet's real nice, but I'm too afraid to switch these out because the overall of this, and let me get to that in a minute. The stand's nice, you know, no complaints about that. I showed you the white head sculpts. Again, I like the white, the Arctic. You know, he's got his hands too, who are even worse. You know, at least 2 of Condor's hands only needed heating up. This guy needed at least 4. I think they still don't move. Great. And that's another pisser. When you go out of your time and you look like a fool and you heat up your figures because whatever, you're a chef now. Then they go back to normal room temperature, and then they go back to garbage. It's all right. Let's go over the weapons. I'm happy he came with this weapon. I don't have this one yet. I don't know if it's the white or if it's the quality of plastic. It's probably the quality of plastic, but this feels like total garbage. Like this, I like the G.I. Joe aesthetic of it, but you didn't put any green in this. I mean, you put it in everything else. Like, put a black splash of something in there. You know what I mean? Make the clip that minty green. I don't know. I feel like just cop out. This is just like minimal effort. You know, I like the sculpt of it, but it's a little plain at the same time. I don't know. I'm just gonna chalk it up to the color because if it was black, maybe it'd look a little better. Here's the point where I was talking about the weapons. Now this is, I got this figure specifically, not specifically, but a more of a selling point, buying point was, oh, it's got the scar, finally. The Scar H, I think, Scar Dash H, or it may be another number or designation, but it is definitely a scar in that family, and you can tell by the stock. But yeah, I was happy to get one finally without a a silencer on it or a grenade launcher. It's really nice, it's beautiful, but it is small. It is tiny. I was shocked. Like, let me compare it to the other ones. Now, some people say, these were too big. Yes, but here, you can even see with your eye. And this isn't even going to have the magazine in it. I mean, even without getting rid of the scope there, you could even see right off the bat that the older one is way bigger. And this is where I'm talking about. And this is where I noticed where he took away centimeters and stuff. Look at the stocks. That's like, he took a centimeter off of that. It's just like a centimeter left everything here. I don't know about the height is in there. I mean, Desert actually looks smaller straight on, but he didn't mess with the height on it. But overall, there were centimeters taken away just here and there. You thought we wouldn't notice, but I caught it. And that's, there's proof in the pudding right there. But, it's not something to go crazy on. I'm more, which is hard for you to get as the watcher. It's more about the quality feel of plastic. Like, I cannot, I wish I could reach to the screen and hand it to you so you could be like, oh, I am 1,000,000,000% confident that if I was able to do that, like Willy Wonka vision that to you, you'd be like, oh yeah, this is absolutely, like you would agree. So, I was pretty surprised. I think this is, I'd rather have it a little bigger than have it way too small. Let me get it in his hands so you could see. And the hands are as well. They're a little tight. I feel like, they're going to eventually, a thumb's going to break off and that's going to be the end of that. But yeah, does that look small to you? Am I crazy? Well, obviously I'm not. It's definitely smaller, but does that look too small to you? It looks a little too small to me. Like, not 5-inch scale, but it's just like figure arts, like Little Armory. That's it. Yeah, it's little armory scale. If you're like, what the hell's Little Armory? Little Armory is a, I guess you could call it Japanese. I don't really know who makes it. It's not Bandai. It's a Figma thing. It's Figma, I believe. Figma makes these. They make guns. They're a little pricey and they're model kits, so you do kind of have to put some of them together. But they're fully kitted out, and it's called Little Armory, like little Armory. And yeah, this is exactly Little Armory scale. That's it. Oh wait, I got some more guns right here. This came with the female. Our scars I know it's tripping over myself here. I know it's not exactly a Scar H or whatever the proper designation is. Now, maybe just this scar designation is smaller than this scar or whatever, but no, it looks the same. Look what the pin is, like the pullback pin there. Yeah, I don't really, yeah. According to guns, I know there's not too many different variations of scars, but this sort of rifle, but it's definitely, well, the back, now this one looks bigger from the back, but you can tell, top side there, significantly bigger. Here's the other one. I'm gonna beat a dead horse here. We'll just go to some comparison soon. But yeah, I know this is like an AR, but yeah, I didn't expect it to be as big as this, obviously, but I didn't expect it. I thought it was going to be like this, but without the silencer on it. So yeah, I don't want to go too much on the same stuff there, but yeah, I'm surprisingly disappointed. Surprisingly disappointed. Let me bring in a few more. I bought in those fingers. Let's bring in Scarlet. She is on a stand. So let's bring in, actually, let's put him on a stand as well. And even the grounds here. Just like that. Whoops. We got Scarlet, and then I was gonna call him Duke because he basically is. Condor. Them. See, we did Scarlet moving that Desert Chat storyline along. There's Arnold. One did a review on. I suggest you check that out. Definitely a cool figure on the Tim Kennedy body. Let's bring out let's take them off the stand now. We'll bring back Snowman, Frosty. With her, let's bring in just because he's right here, Kid Spidey. Real fast. All right, two more. I'll make a point with another one here. I'll bring him out. Let's bring in, speaking of Joe, Snow Joe, let's bring in Snow Job, which, well, that's not going to be a great comparison. But, I mean, not many G.I. Joes feel as good as they look. And this one's a home run. I mean, it definitely wanted it to go with it, but yeah, that green just does not work with that. Does not work. All kinds of military people are like, yeah, what's up with that green? I guess whoever he's getting his, my last one, Bobby's getting his military info from is, I think he needs to look somewhere else. Here's Gamora. Well, way back in the beginning of the video, how I was making the point about faces and why I figured it out. Because I was like, why does Gamora look kind of weird on this body? Because now I could see, now that she's off her Thanos body, that her head is way too small. Her face is way too small. And she looks like a kid. Made her look way too young. I mean, and I thought this was cartoonish. And then in comparison, so that's how I figured out, okay, so that's definitely a real world look. This is like the cartoon-ish look, or comic book. And this is cartoonish. And this is just borderline childish. But I wanted a, man, I'm just so frustrated. Can't find a good Gamora, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, I really like the females. I mean, he's giving us good stuff. It's just, what is going on? What is going on? And that gets me, you know, I was going to do a video on, or talk about, like I said, I didn't want to make it a personal video about Bobby Vala or anything like that. Or no, I don't think that the garage doors are going to close anytime soon on their refurbished basement office. You know, with their 200-piece cutlery, 200 pieces of cutlery, that's 200-piece sword for $200, custom design. It's an investment. No windows or doors. Now, I don't want to make fun of anybody. I don't want to go in like that. But I mean, I was expecting all these upgrades, all this hype, and all these things to come, and it was not delivered. It was definitely not delivered with this set. I am disappointed. Am I gonna stop collecting Valaverse? No. Am I gonna pre-order the Vanguard? Probably, but this gets me less excited about it. Doesn't get me excited about it at all. You know, and as far as these bodies, I know he's doing new bodies in Series 5, which honestly, I am no longer excited for. I thought I was going to get them. Maybe I'll get the Praetorian, but is it going to be garbage like this? I'm no longer, and is it going to be like $55? If it's $55, I'm out. If it's $35, I'm out. If it's anything above 30, and that's still a risk, I'll get one. I wanted a troop build, but not anymore. Oh man, I didn't want to do this. I don't want to bash it. I'm excited about Valaverse. You know what I mean? And just to have this happen is just so disappointing. But I'll tell you one thing, though. These bodies, I'm completely done with these bodies. I am not going to order a single one of these bodies anymore. I'm absolutely done with these bodies. And like I said, as far as the business of Valaverse is concerned, they have become equivalent to Four Horsemen Studios, who do the Mythic Legions. Now, what do I mean by that? Is that they are to the point where they're going to be shedding customers and getting new ones at the same time. Because there's plenty of people out there who have no idea, never got a Valaverse before. A lot of my Joe friends, enjoy Joe groups. I call them snobs because I'm just like, hey, you get that new Valaverse? They're like, I'm not getting that knockoff stuff. It's like, whoa, all right. But, I don't feel that way. Yeah, I can't really argue to the contrary anymore because this is terrible. I'm absolutely done with these bodies. I will not pre-order another one of these bodies. I don't care what he promises or what he says. Absolutely done. Now, as far as Series 5 is concerned, if some of his troopers, I really just need mercenaries, like from the Wolverine, like from Logan. So if they come with sunglasses, I'll get them because we desperately need like mercenary troopers with sunglasses because we have enough. Like this, how many of this is? I think I have legit like a dozen of these bodies, maybe more. I think I have like 24 Valaverse altogether, give or take. Yeah, I'm absolutely done with buying these bodies. I don't care what they come with, what's their design, how good the plastic is. I'm done. And that's a shame. Again, to answer the question, is Valaverse getting worse? They're not getting any better, unfortunately. And this might be, I'd hate this to be my last Valaverse video and review because I do enjoy them. They do make good custom fodder. That's for damn sure. They really make good customs. But yeah, I'm disappointed. Verdict, disappointed. Is Valaverse getting worse? It seems so. Until next time.